it up for James. He had to talk an extra 4.5 minutes there. This goes back to like the very first restaurant job I had in Seattle, which is a place called Simonetti's, which is an old school Italian restaurant that no one's ever heard of. It's been dead for since the 1900s. Big savvy owned by him. One of the things we made was this chicken saltimbocca. But these days, saltimbocca can mean so many different things. I didn't want to call it that, so I figured stuffed chicken breast pepper. Coba ham instead of prosciutto, again from Chef's Choice. Fresh basil and Parmesan Reggiano, which I never get to use because I sell hamburgers. And I got like a really nice wedge, and I'm like, yeah, a little more, I think. Let's put a little more Parmesan Reggiano in that, so it's nice. So there's Parmesan Reggiano in the pasta sauce. There's a little on top. There's a little on the chicken. And if anybody wants some to go, I probably have a little bit there too. So enjoy it. I think it's a good match for the beer. I found this beer to be a little bit different than an American IPA, which is usually something I challenge with really spicy food. It's just a nice beer for a dish with a lot of flavors. And I think this dish has those flavors. So enjoy it.
Well, I didn't think I'd be able to show you this since I got the chance. It's fantastic. I told you about the IPA that we aged in the fishing boat. This is a 2.5-minute video of what happened. So that's my colleagues filling the casks before they went out to sea. This is it. So this was the 2nd of January 2009. That's our fishing boat. And that's starting to load the casks on the boat. So we had 8 casks. The first one actually went into the sea the time of loading. That's me in a basket, hanging over the side of the boat trying to get the cask back. That's the second sea now. So it's a 200-foot fishing boat. We catch mackerel and we do most of our fishing in January and February. So if you've ever seen deadliest catch, this is in Scotland, and that's the fish we're catching.
You say mackerel?
Yeah. So this is the fishing nets coming in now. So that's the chief engineer in the fishing boat, but the fishing boat's now at sea. He's also the chief engineer in our bottling line, so it's that's Ian. That was the guy that was dancing about the beat out leg in his pants. So that's a catch coming up just now. There's about 500 tons of mackerel in there, so it's a catch a lot of fish.
You're rubbing your hands a lot together when you look at those fish. Does that mean money?
It means a lot of hard work. So we thought we'd have some fun. We had 7 casks down in the hold, but we thought we'd take 2 up and tie them onto the mast at the front of the boat. Have a bit of fun with it, pounding the casks. So there's one behind my head, and in a second you'll see the 2 guys tying one onto the mast. So then it's the cask with the beard tied onto the mast. And we see a lot of these whales as well. They're feeding in the same schools of fish as we're catching, so it's always cool for us just to hang out with those guys. Or something.
Naming a beer.
I'm actually speaking just now that we was going out in a storm, so that's a wind machine. It's 97 knots of wind. So this happens a lot in our land. You see the cask and the cask tied to the mast? So this is about maybe 60, 70 foot seas. Ouch.
So the one you lost?
No, kept that one. Made the guys tie it on tight. Still there. I was actually quite happy. I was still there, so I'm happy that way.
Like the crab fisher.
So that's Norway. So we land most of our fish in Norway. It's quite snowy. So this beer's had waves, it's had whales, it's been lost in the sea, it's had snow. So it's the story of the first genuine IPA for 200 years. There's 3 of them. Some of the guys do that. That's fine. Yeah, it's amazing. It's become so oxidized and it's been chucked about so much. It's got some kind of sour Belgian hints in there. There's a kind of salinity. It's a oaky kind of hints. It's kind of quite a dark take and a bitterness to it as well, but it's fascinating. What we wanted to do with that beer was make something as close to what an IPA would have been 200 years ago as we could. We couldn't quite find any fish to catch in India, so we had to do it in the North Atlantic.
This is a big IPA that's usually the heat challenge for me. So I did risotto. I love risotto. Blackened scallops. Just really good dry pack scallops that came in this morning from me from my fish guy. Particularly like them, even if they're made out of tofu. So I hope you enjoy it. I really like this beer. This is like my favorite risotto beer. It's awesome. I think it's going to go well with this one.
So for me, the punk IPA, the chicken pasta was fantastic. That was a good combination of ice and fire. I put the two things together was just awesome. So this is a big 9% IPA. So the first thing this beer you've got to show respect. It's big, it'll bang you, 9% alcohol, show respect. Take your time with it. It's quite cold just now. The fascinating thing with this beer, as it warms up, you're going to get different flavors, different aromas. So take your time. Hello. How are you? Just take your time, get to know the aromas, get to know the intricacies, notice the differences as it warms up your glass. You're going to get different aromas, the flavour of the beer is going to change slightly as it warms up. So 9% IPA, double IPAs, again, sort of in-fashion beer style in the US at the moment. So double usually means double the hops. So this has twice the amount of hops in it that Punk IPA has. It's like the big daddy to our Punk IPA. So more hop bitterness, more hop flavour, more hop aroma, just more hops. So this beer is about the hops. It's English and New Zealand hops again that we use in there. And it's got 90 IBUs, so the bitterness in this one, after you've had a few sips, you kind of feel the bitterness kind of get to the back of your throat. It's warming, it's zippy, it's tangy. Again, it's 9%. There's a lot of bitterness in there. You've got to show it a lot of respect. Okay, so before I go into too much detail about this beer, like I said before, we're a young company in Scotland. We've got no marketing budgets. A lot of the things that we do to get the name out there have been a little bit edgy, and I'll let you see a short video to. So we've got a lot of videos that we post up on our website, and I mean, we're all about making good beer, so we don't like the big beer companies. So you see in the table there's some tenants, there's some decks, and that's our safety officer, who's like the words. Safety is not automatic, think about it. Here we go.
He hits me with the golf club. Here we go. Tee it up. Here, look right here. I can see it. Okay. Nice. Yeah, safety first. What do you think? Oh, the Carlsberg! Carlsberg!
So this is one of our beers now, 77, named after the chicken boat.